Okay, I'm trying to find a handout.
So Joyce, in your absence, Representative Beck Meadows were asking about the cost of families in the sort of 175 issue.
Yeah. So if somebody tips 175, they hit 176. Under this free language, that person would owe $52.
Which is what they currently, I'm Joyce Manchester with the Joint Fiscal Office.
Yeah.
Yes, they currently would pay 50 because the
50.
copay is
Right.
25
Right.
multiples.
And then they pay another 26 for.
Starting FY '25, right? It doesn't go into effect, maybe it starts in April 1st, 2024, I think.
I think you're right.
I could check.
I think you're right.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I'm just trying to get, so I think what we're doing here in this free language, if you're between 176 and 250, your life just got more expensive relative to current law.
by $2.
And then another dollar for every 25%.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
That's all, that's what I'm just trying to get my head around. I think you're right. I mean, I think that is the case.
Per week, yes.
I mean, if you're between 150 and 175 or 151 and 175, your life just got a little bit less. You don't have to pay that $125 copay.
Correct,
But everybody over 175, their childcare just got more expensive.
by a little bit.
Yeah.
Two sort of questions. Do we have any kind of numbers on the expanded universe too, as we sort of bump up who's eligible for CCFIP in a sense of how many kind of additional families and kids that might serve? And at least for those folks who might be paying $1 or $2 more, hopefully there are more slots available.
Yes.
And there are more centers offering high quality care. So
Yes.
you might be paying $2 more, but you might be less likely to be on the wait list. And more likely to have a high quality impact.
Yes, that's the purpose of the bill, yes.
And I have one more question about that, which sort of towards what Representative Sims was saying. Do we have a sense of how much the increased dollars going to centers will increase pay for workers? I know that it's not a one-to-one, but
So currently,
never asked that question, I suppose I'm looking for.
currently, we see that between 75 and 80% of a provider's total costs go to wages and salaries. So highly personnel driven. And we know that they are desperate for workers and they would like to be able to pay higher wages. So the expectation is that most of the increased reimbursement would go to wages and salaries.
So around what percentage do you imagine those wages go up? 30%?
It really depends on the provider's budgets and where their needs are. I mean, there could be centers that are currently maxed out in terms of physical capacity. And so if they're able to hire more workers, maybe they first need to add a classroom. Who knows? But we expect, because we know there are so many unused slots because they can't find staff, we expect that most of the money would go to wages and salaries.
I asked the question and I talked over it just around, do we have numbers on the sort of total number of families that would receive expanded CCFIP as we move up to 400 and 550 FPL eligibility?
So we have estimates of the number of children that would be added to the CCFAP enrollment. And that is based on a number of factors. It's based on what's the current uptake of CCFAP, which across all ages is something under 30% of eligible children are currently using CCFAP. And as you know, the governor's recommendation was to increase outreach and marketing and try to get that back up to closer to 50%, which was the uptake prior to the pandemic. So in JFO's modeling of estimated additional enrollments, we sort of targeted getting closer to 50%, thinking that that seemed like about the right number of kids that might take advantage of more slots and so forth. So the 0 to 350% increase in kids was almost 3,000 kids. And we're currently at 4,464. What is that? 4,500
Kids.
kids, 0 to
So,
4.
and then adding 3,000.
And adding about 3,000 on top of that.
And then for the higher levels of FPL.
So we
are we bringing sort of more kids in?
We currently have 2,000, about 2,000 kids in after school. And I have a beautifully messy spreadsheet if anybody is curious. And we're adding about 2,000. And the reason for that is that we know currently that about 25% of the kids in CCFAP across the board are siblings. And if you're adding more kids 0 to 4, you're likely to get a lot of siblings in the after school because essentially there's no cost to the family, right? They pay the copay for the youngest child, and other children are no cost.
Sorry to keep elaborating this, but like, if we go up to the, 575, if
Aha.
we did in the future, like, do we have a sense of what percent, more kids, again, sort of balance, we're asking folks who are maybe already receiving CCFAP to pay $2 more, but we're also expanding the universe, just trying to get a sense of magnitude there.
So the JFO estimate for 350 up to, as far as we go, 550, 575% is another 3,500. It's 0 to 4. Yeah. And as I said, most of what we imagine would happen in the after school would be in the no pay category. So those would be included in my previous number, which was something over 2,000. Yeah, a bit over 2,000.
So 3,000 more new kids in up to 150, and then maybe another 3,500 from 35 and above. So that's a lot more kids who
A lot more kids.
would be receiving CCFAP as a result.
And based on my approximate calculations, we're getting up closer to the 50%.
And hopefully some of the rule changes and the online form and the simple language also help with all.
Yes, and there's no guarantee that boost in enrollment is going to happen right away. I imagine it's going to take some months, if not more than 12 months. But yeah, that's the expectation.
She just said this. Madam Chair, I'll move that we vote out our strike all amendment to S56 favorably.
Second?
Now, a yes vote on this means we move the bill out favorably.
Let me, yes, but let me just say the ceremonial things.
Yes, okay, sorry.
It's okay.
Go ahead.
Representative Demerara moved, that we find S56 favorable, Representative Hanson seconded. Any discussion?
Yes, now, so this means we're moving the bill out favorably, not that we approve it and not that we will vote yes on the floor.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
I would like maybe 25 and 26. What does that extra dollar get us for revenue? Anybody know that now? Like, what does that get us?
The dollar of copay.
Yeah. Well, from 25 to 26, what does that get us?
So I can tell you the number of kids who are above the zero pay line, above 175%. And you would take $1 a week for each of those kids, right? And it's 52.
Well, no, because some of them are, it's another dollar, some of them are, it's another $7, some of them.
Oh, you're right, It's
Depending on
multiples.
how many,
It's
how many
multiples.
times they
You're
trip
absolutely
it.
right.
Just that first interval.
So how can we do this? This is a series, this is a math problem. It's a series that goes,
Well, somebody must know, I mean, it all,
well,
it
it's
had to
all,
be accounted for.
it's all accounted for in the estimate. I've not broken it out that way. I can do it and I can,
Okay, I'm gonna vote no on this bill at this time, because I just think the optics are terrible to increase taxes on people, this amount of money, and then telling people that you're also gonna have to pay more at your kid in childcare. And I just don't think that's, you know, I mean, I think there's a lot of families that are in that 175 to 350, and to pass a bill like this and then say you're gonna have to pay more, I just think the optics of that are, I'm not comfortable with this.
Scott, how would you do it?
Well, in previous versions, the co-payment started at the moment when the person was not eligible for full payment. And here they staggered it back and so.
I'm not sure. So you understand that we've moved the zero pay category from 150% to 175%. But the very next category is paying almost the same copay as they were under current law.
No, they're paying 52.
They're paying $2 more, right? That's why I said almost the same. Instead of $50, they're paying 52. The 175 to 200 previously paid $50 per week. And
Yeah.
next April 1st, that would bump up to $52 per week.
And more.
Representatives.
I'm excited to vote yes for this. I mean, I think, we know that families, rely on childcare, or businesses rely on childcare. I believe that investment is a public good and feel that we're making meaningful steps forward and having really powerful intent language to make sure that childcare will be more affordable, there'll be more slots, we'll have a more professional workforce that's compensated. And I think we've heard from some that they prefer us to make like small changes. And I think we need more than Band-Aids here and appreciate the kind of big picture transformational change that this bill contemplates. So looking forward to voting yes.
I'm also really excited to vote yes. And I think throughout this process and even going into this biennium, I was concerned about sort of the three legs of the stool and whether we would be able to maintain them. The need for families to have more access to childcare by growing the supply of childcare and making these all more affordable for families. And supporting childcare workers, sort of that affordable, accessible, high quality school. And I think we have done great work towards that here. And I think it's a really remarkable balancing act. I was incredibly concerned going into this that we wouldn't maintain the focus on increasing dollars going to providers. And I'm really proud that we've done that here and that, a business that has been, based on women's labor for a very long time is going to see some living wages there.
I would just say, my good friend from St. Johnsbury, most of the folks who are just over the 175 are probably not subject to the income tax changes that we made, Scott. So the theory of all in, everybody pays something, I think is vindicated in the path that we have taken.
Childcare bills will be more expensive.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Your childcare bills will be more expensive.
Representative Maslin.
Yeah, and I reiterate what I've said periodically in another 72, this is very much a workforce development and workforce retention bill. And it's essential if we want to state forward in ways that all of us, including the governor, have suggested we should.
Representative Maddox.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're taking some really good steps in the bill, but I just keep going back to my area of the state. northern Chittenden County and Chittenden County as a whole, where, folks are buying their first home for $500,000. The income limits here is, a teacher and a nurse. They're not going to be eligible for CCFAP, or an electrician and, an admin staff, something like that. And we have a lot of that in my area. And I just can't imagine. I was just having a conversation with a friend of mine, has an infant child, going to be paying just under $20,000 a year for childcare. Not eligible for CCFAP, and they're paying just over the CCFAP current rate. And now, if that same center matches what the new rate's going to be, this same person is going to be paying about $5,000 to $6,000 more a year. And, that's $144,000 a year for this family that they get income. And I just can't fathom putting another $6,000 and then on top of that an income tax at the end of the year on top of that. So I think it does a lot of good, but it also, I think, pushes the burden on a lot of folks in my area in Chittenden County as well.
It really helped in a few years when the system was able to adjust to this infusion of money, and we come back to go all the way to the families more than are here for that, because I think that is the next step that we need to take on this. This doesn't go all the way. And we need to keep on working on it.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Reflecting on this bill, I can say just honestly, my family income with 2 people with bachelor's degrees and 25 years of experience never has ever approached the top band of this. I think this bill serves a lot more people, but to me, the most important part is the ability for more people, and specifically more women, to join the workforce if they choose, and not be forced to make an uncomfortable decision about whether they put their professional skills to use. And especially the women, mostly women, but people I'll say, working in our childcare workforce who have been undervalued for so long to get what they actually deserve. So I'll be voting.
Any further discussion?
I'd like to say that this is, I've listened since I ran for office the first time 7 years ago, and I heard at most doors that people want their children and grandchildren to be able to stay in Vermont, or if they're family, they want to be able to stay in Vermont, and they need jobs that pay, they need affordable housing, affordable childcare that's accessible, available, and they need healthcare, list of things they need. This is one of them. We've had the employers and employees tell us they need this help. I have to agree that with Representative Matos, I am very concerned about that cliff. But I hear the chair, Kornheiser, saying next phase is no family greater than 10%. I think we have to get there. And I think this is a step in the phases to get there. So I will be voting yes.
So our first vote is on our amendment 8.2, the Ways and Means Amendment 8.2. The clerk could please call the roll.
Andrews, excuse me, Andrews, yes. Anthony,
Yes?
Beck?
No.
Brannigan,
Yes.
Demeraux,
Yes.
Maslin?
Yep.
Matos,
No.
Bodie,
Yes.
Sims,
Yes.
Taylor,
Yes.
Canfield,
No.
Kornheiser.
Yes.
Thank you.
930.
Thank you. And then the bill as amended. Any further discussion on that? Okay, clerk, please call the roll.
Andrews, yes. Anthony,
Yep.
Beck?
No.
Brannigan,
Yes.
Demeraux,
Yes.
Maslin?
Yep.
Matos,
No.
Bodie,
Yes.
Sims,
Yes.
Taylor,
Yes.
Canfield,
No.
Kornheiser,
Yes.
930.
Thank you, everyone, and really especially huge thanks to all of the staff in this room.
Yeah, incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
So many hoops to do to work on.
Hey.